Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is FREEBIE, the channel where we talk a lot about making money online as a creative person, as an artist. In today's video, we will going to talk about one of the amazing way to make money online, and I think that few months back only I introduced this particular income stream in my own different income streams, in my own online income streams. So I'm going to be talking about how you as a creative person, as an artist, a designer can make money via this particular income stream. So without further ado, let's get straight with our. Before go park, consider clicking the like button, guys. I do really appreciate that. If you want more such videos in the future, consider subscribing, hit the bell icon. Whenever I'm gonna upload new videos, you're gonna get notified about it. Also, we have a lot of free resources to help you. The links are in description box below. You can very well grab them. And also you can support me and my channel on the Patreon. The link is in description box below. You're gonna get early access to my YouTube videos, the niche ideas, the keyword list, the magazine, the Global Art magazine. A lot more is there in our Patreon. Make sure to check it out. The link is in description box below. Without further ado, let's talk about what I really want to talk about for this particular video. Now, first of all, I'm extremely grateful for all the Patreons who recently joined my Patreon. I'm so grateful about it. Thank you so much, guys. It really means a lot to me. I count every single dollar that's coming into my bank account from my business, and I'm extremely grateful that you guys help me. Now, you would be thinking, especially thanking the Patreons in this particular video, because today that I'm going to be talking about making money online as a creative person is by Patreon. Yes, I think that many people have heard about the Patreon. What exactly is it? If you haven't, let me talk about the basic, what it is, the Patreon. Patreon is kind of like a monthly membership or a subscription service where people can provide, or where the creative people or anyone can provide some perks to their people for every single month. Maybe you can provide it in the form of the artwork or YouTube videos, early access to YouTube videos, exclusive content, digital downloads, or maybe physical product. It depends what kind of perks you're providing, depending on what kind of different levels you are. And according to the perks, you can set the different levels starting from $1 to $100. I mean, more than that, depending on what you're providing in those perks. But usually I see the membership or subscription service perks last from like $2, starting from $2 to around $20 or $25 or $50 or $60. That's usually the kind of the range I see for most of the Patreons who have their Patreon services. So that is the basic definition of the Patreon. Now, how you can, as a creative person, can make money online. Now, I'm going to tell you, I think I started with my own Patreon for this particular YouTube channel. I think I started back in the February of 2022, planning in the 2021, but then I was working on the different stuff, so I wasn't able to. And I know that the Patreon, you need to provide the perk every single month. So it is an active passive combination. I think a few months back, only few of the people joined the Patreons from this YouTube channel, and they are supporting me on the Patreon. I'm so grateful about it, and I'm actually giving you the exclusive perks, early access to my YouTube videos, a lot more in the Patreon. And if you are really looking forward to support my channel, then make sure you check it out. The link is in the description box below. So you as a creative person can make money online as a Patreon. Talking about the pros and cons of the Patreon, and then I'm going to be talking about what you can provide in the perks. The pro of starting with the Patreon is that a recurring income, that you're making money every single month. So that's a great income stream. As you grow, your Patreon increases, so does your revenue and money. So that is a great way to make recurrent income. The second is the Patreon is easy to set up. If you're starting with a membership website or a membership service on your own website, you need to do the back end and the front end processing on your website, like setting up your website for that, providing the perks, and you have to do a lot of the stuff. But on the Patreon make it very simple and easy for the people to get started with the Patreon. Like, you just need to open up your account, set the different perks that you're going to provide to the people, name them, and that's it. Like, you don't have to do much of the stuff. So simple to get started with that. The third pro is, since many people are using the Patreon, so it's kind of like built its own credibility and trust factor, because many are YouTubers, many creative people, and many other people who are making money online started with their own Patreon, and people are signing and paying them for the Patreons to get the perks, to support their YouTuber, or to support their creative people, and it's become it's kind of like a more reputed platform. Of course, there could be a side effect as well, which I'm gonna cover in the cons, but still the people have developed the credibility. Like, if you are having that kind of stuff on your own website, then people are kind of like, is my credit card or debit card will be in a safe zone or not? Is my information will going to be leaked or not, but due to the Patreon, all things are in safe. Okay, all things are in safe and protection for both the people who are joining the Patreon and the people who are making the money via the Patreon. So fourth thing that I think is that since it's another income stream to your online income stream, so you have a multiple different income streams, so you can make more money with the Patreon. You can add the physical product as a perk, digital products or YouTube videos, podcast episode. You can provide a lot many stuffs, and you can add one more income stream to your online income stream. So that's a great deal, because I talk a lot about having a multiple income streams, and I think that the most of the millionaires, billionaires on this planet Earth have become rich just by the multiple different income stream. No one big person is making just the money from the one income stream. No, they actually have a lot many branches. Take for an example of the Amazon has the various different branches. You see the Amazon marketplaces, then the Kindle stuff is there, then you're gonna see the Amazon music, the audiobooks, and this is just to name a few. There are hell a lot of the Amazon stuff is there in that one big branch of the Amazon. Says that this is a great strategy to have multiple income stream, to become rich, to make a full-time income, or whatever your goal is in the money department. So these are the 4 pros of starting with the Patreon. Now I'm going to be talking about the cons of the Patreon. The first is, since the Patreon is a third-party platform, you don't have much of the control. Now I'm talking about based from the creative perspective, who is providing the value to the perks to the people. I'm talking from that point of view. So you don't have much of the control because it's a third-party platform. So with that, I have the second cons with that. It takes fees. Yes, even if you are having a $10 Patreon or $5, $2, you are paying the fees for the Patreon for actually using the service, and then you are paying the transaction charges, that commission fees that you have to pay for every Patreon that you're joining in. Said the third cons is that on opening up an account and having a Patreon doesn't mean you're gonna have the people joining into your Patreon. No, it's not a marketplace. It's not a marketplace like the Etsy, Creative Fabric, or Zazzle, where you just open up a shop and the people will going to come to your shop. No, it's not a marketplace. You need to promote and market your Patreon to your followers, subscribers, email subscribers, whatever way you can, whatever you have the followers on the online space or in the offline space, you need to promote it. And you guys have seen a lot many times in my videos, I am promoting my Patreon so that people can join my Patreon. So you have to do the promotion and marketing. Fourth cons is that since you are making money every single month, it's a recurring income, it's a membership, it's a subscription. That means you have to provide the perk or value to the people every single month. So that means it's not as passive as it may sound. It's an active, because you're actively providing value to the people, whether in the form of digital goods or physical goods or YouTube videos or podcast or voting, whatever it is. You have to keep providing people every single month because they are paying you every single month. Or if you're having a Zazzle shop or a print-on-demand shop, that could work as a passive. But here you need to provide to the people every single month. So it's not entirely passive. These are the pros and cons of getting started with the Patreon. With that being said, now I'm going to be talking about what are the different perks that you can provide to the people in the Patreon. The first perk that you can provide is if you are a YouTuber or if you're creating content in social media, you can provide the early access to your content. The second is behind the scenes content. The third is the voting rights, exclusive voting polls in your Patreon for your Patreons. The fourth is the digital product, whether it's a workbook, planner, or you're providing some kind of like PDF download or graphics, illustrations, whatever it is, it's a digital product. You can also provide the classes, like many of the artists provide the art tutorials or the art classes in their Patreon. So you could have that. The another way is the physical products. You can provide the physical products of your art, like you're selling your art prints, or you're selling your stickers or different merch products or the postcards or the cards. Like sky's the limit in this case, right? The another way is you can provide exclusive content like exclusive YouTube videos, exclusive podcast episode, something like that which is not available online just for free, which you're only providing to your Patreon. Another one is that people can support your channel or support your content that you're making in the online space, the free content by just $2. Like you're not providing anything, but they are supporting you on the Patreon. So that's a great thing. Another way is you can name the people of the Patreons who are supporting you in the Patreon on your YouTube channel or on the social media, like giving the credits or being grateful by naming them specifically in your online content. That could also be a great way. These are the few examples of the perk. Now sky is the limit, so you can be more creative in this particular aspect, and depending on what your followers or your subscribers want from you, you can provide that type of content in your Patreons. Think about how you're going to receive the payout from the Patreon. You're going to receive the payout from the Patreon via the PayPal. You need to provide your PayPal email address in the Patreon, and then you're going to receive the money in your PayPal. Now you do have to fill the text forms. So depending on where you are living, in which part of the world, you need to fill the text form, whether you are living in the States or whether you are living outside the United States, because Patreon is a service that is there in the United States. They are based in the States. So that's why if you're in the United States, you have a different text form. And if you're out of the United States, you have a different text form. So you need to fill the text form. You need to provide your PayPal email address to receive the payout, take the commission. I'm not sure how much commission they take, because right now when I'm seeing in my Patreon, I'm kind of like confused. Like if someone is paying me for a Patreon for $10, I'm getting $8 from that. So they are taking kind of like a $2 from that $10. So still I'm not sure how much money they are taking as a commission, as a transaction, but they're gonna take it. So keep that thing in mind. If you are having a $2 Patreon, then $1 will be probably going into the commission or in the transaction. So you need to have set your Patreon according to it. Now I'm going to be talking about the few things that you need to keep in mind while starting with the Patreon. I think that it's entirely based on my experience starting with the Patreon. So I'm going to be talking about the few things that are really, really important as a creator, as a creative person, that are providing value to the people in the Patreon. The first is that you need to have an online presence, online followers, or subscribers, or even an offline following, something like that. You need to have people who are ready to join your Patreon. If you are just having your Patreon for the sake of getting the people eyes on that Patreon, then it would never ever going to happen that someone will going to join your Patreon. You need to market and promote it actively on social media or YouTube or whatever content you're creating in the online space. So you need to have followers. So before starting with that, you need to take into consideration that you do need to have a followers on some social media platform. Or the second thing you need to keep in mind, that you need to provide the people value every single month. So take into that consideration that every single month you need to make that kind of content for the people in the Patreon. So only provide those perks in the Patreon every single month which you can make every single month. Like if you are giving them something which is really takes you a lot of the time and effort from your side to create that kind of stuff, then it won't be possible for you to make every single month to provide in the Patreon. Because if you are having a multiple income streams like I do currently, if you are having the similar one, then you won't be having that much of the time for one particular specific the Patreon. So you need to set your perks according to what you can really provide on a consistent monthly basis, and be clear and be honest with yourself. Okay, don't think that I'm gonna be able to do this for every single month, and when you are seeing that you aren't even able to do that. Okay, third thing is that provide only that thing to the people which people are ready to purchase from you. Don't provide just randomly anything in your Patreon hoping that people will going to join it. No, they only need that content which they want to receive it from you. Obviously there would be a loyal followers, loyal subscribers who are ready to support you. Like I do have a loyal followers and subscribers like you, and I'm so grateful about it. You would be having them who's ready to support you no matter what you do, because they are your loyal followers or subscribers. Okay, but still you need to provide value to your loyal subscribers and followers because they are supporting you, so you need to give them the value, right? So give them that value which they are really looking for. If you're having an art channel, you are making art tutorials, provide the art tutorials in your Patreon. If you are having a channel like this, like I'm having the channel like this, maybe provide exclusive content or digital products or something like that in your Patreon. So provide only which people are expecting from you. With that being said, the fourth thing you need to keep into mind, you need to have promote and market it. Yes, don't think that the money will going to come into your bank account the moment you start with the Patreon. You need to actively promote it. Okay, So make sure you're promoting and marketing, and don't think that when you're promoting and marketing, you are a spammer or something like that. No, I do promote and market my products in my YouTube videos, on my email list, and a lot more stuff where I do promote my stuff. I do promote it because that's the way I make money, okay? So you have to promote and market it. There is nothing wrong with that, as long as you are promoting and marketing to the right people and providing them the right content in exchange of the money that you're taking from them. So be open and be okay with promotion and marketing. Don't think that it's bad or naive or something like that. Tip I have for you, especially for the physical goods. If you are providing any kind of physical goods in your Patreon, like you are making that particular product and shipping to your people in the Patreon, then please cover your cost of that particular stuff, like your shipping cost, your delivery cost, your products making cost, everything you need to consider for setting up that particular Patreon level, because Patreon people do take a commission from every single Patreon that are joining every single month, and they take a commission and cut from that. So you need to have a Patreon level according to your physical goods, because for the physical goods, if you are delivering all throughout the world, then you have to take it into consideration the delivery charges, the shipping charges, the import charges, and various different kinds of the charges that actually people or courier services place when they ship one from one country to the next. So please have your Patreon level according to it, because here you are not losing your money. You also have to make the money. If you are losing your money just to provide the perks of the Patreon, then how are you gonna make it? And how are you gonna actually survive while doing that? I hope you get my point. You need to take into consideration, of course, Patreon has made it so simple and easy to start with a membership or subscription service, but it's a third-party platform, right? Okay, what if in the next day Patreon think that they are shutting down their platform? Then you would be completely out of it. So I would highly recommend you to have your own email list. So what if something happens to the Patreon, you can email the people who have signed your Patreon and tell them that due to the closure of the Patreon, or there is some issue with the Patreon, you are continuing with your membership or subscription service on your own website. So please have the email list of the people who joined your Patreon. My sub tips to making money online as a Patreon, because from few months I've been making money via the Patreon because of you guys, and I'm so grateful about it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna be talking about the Zazzle tutorial, because I've been getting a lot of the requests from you guys about the Zazzle tutorial. So probably the next video will be a tutorial. I'm gonna show you how you can transfer your own design, your own artwork, or if you're creating something in the Canva, from Canva to the Zazzle designer tool, and how you can edit your template and you can design your product in the design tool in the Zazzle, so that people are ready to purchase from you. And what are the things that you need to take into consideration when you are exporting your artwork or your file from the Canva and directly importing it to the Zazzle. I'm gonna also be talking about those things in the next video. So if you are interested in that tutorial, hit that subscribe button, guys, so that you make money as a designer, right? Hopefully you find this video useful. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye, guys.